Hello everyone, and welcome to Not Usual Stories. Today, I'm sharing the wild story of an Inuit village that vanished overnight. Before we start, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for your support. Imagine waking up to find that an entire village, every man, woman, and child, had vanished without a trace. No screams, no signs of struggle, just gone. This isn't fiction. This really happened. It was November 1930, deep in the Canadian Arctic, when a fur trapper named Joe LaBelle was making his way through the snow-covered wilderness. He had been traveling these routes for years, trading supplies and furs with the remote Inuit communities that lived off the land. He was heading toward a small village near Lake Anjikuni, a place he'd visited before. The Inuit who lived there were known for their resilience. In one of the most unforgiving climates on Earth, they had built lives of balance and tradition. Their homes, often built from stone and animal skins, were warm against the cold. They hunted caribou and seal, fished under the ice, and passed down stories through generations. They believed in spirits that lived in the land, the wind, and the water. Some kind, other, less so. Life was hard, but rich in meaning. Families were close. Elders were respected. And the cold, though brutal, was something they understood and mastered. So when Joe LaBelle arrived at the village, he expected a warm fire, familiar faces, and perhaps even shared tea with dried fish. Instead, he found silence. The village was completely deserted. Snow had drifted up against the homes, but no fresh footprints could be seen. He called out, no answer. Inside the huts, food was left cooking. Personal belongings were untouched. Weapons essential for survival were still hanging on the walls. Even more disturbing, the sled dogs were found dead, still tied to their posts, buried under snow. This was unthinkable. No Inuit would ever abandon their dogs. They were lifelines in the Arctic. The fires were still smoldering, meaning whatever had happened recently. Panicked, LaBelle rushed to the nearest telegraph office miles away and alerted the authorities. No signs of disease, no signs of a mass departure. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police responded. When they arrived, they confirmed everything he described. No signs of struggle. Even the village graves had been disturbed. Some were said to be completely emptied. This wasn't just strange, it was impossible. Over the years, theories began to swirl. Some believed the villagers were forced to flee due to a natural threat, maybe a sudden landslide or thinning ice. But if they fled, why leave behind their weapons, their dogs, their children's clothes? And why was there no trail? Not a single footprint in the snow. Others point to supernatural explanations, ancient spirits, curses, or malevolent entities from Inuit folklore. Then there are the more bizarre claims that a UFO was spotted in the sky above the lake that night. Some say bright pulsing lights were seen by nearby trappers floating silently above the trees. Of course, skeptics have tried to debunk the entire story. They claim the details were exaggerated or that Joe LaBelle himself may have invented it. But official police reports from that time still exist. And no one has ever proven or disproven exactly what happened. No survivors were found. No bodies were recovered. No one from the Anjikuni village was ever seen again. And strangely, it's not the only time something like this has happened. In 1590, more than 100 English settlers vanished from Roanoke Island, off the coast of present-day North Carolina. Their colony was found deserted. No sign of struggle, with only a single word carved into a tree, Croatoan. To this day, no one knows where they went. In the D.A. Love Pass incident of 1959, 9 experienced hikers in Russia's Ural Mountains were found dead under bizarre conditions. Some had fled their tents barefoot in the snow. Several had severe internal injuries, but no external wounds. Their deaths remain unexplained. And in the 1870s, the entire crew of the ship, Mary Celeste, was discovered missing. The ship itself was intact, drifting at sea. Food and supplies were untouched. Lifeboats were still there. The crew had vanished without a trace. So when we talk about the disappearance at Lake Anjikuni, we must ask, no clues. Just an empty village in the snow. Are these isolated incidents? Or is there something connecting them? To this day, the fate of the Anjikuni villagers remains one of the strangest, most chilling, unsolved mysteries in Canadian history. A whole community simply gone. No answers, and the question still lingers. Where did they go? If you thought this story was chilling, there are even stranger ones out there. Hit subscribe, and I'll show you.